Hey everyone, and welcome back to Woo Woo Wednesday, where I share my intuitive insight and weekly wisdom with you through the use of oracle cards. I'm Brittney Carmichael, the founder of Shine School and the Shine from the Inside Oracle, and I'm excited to join you this week because we have a new moon in Aries, and that means it is a fresh start. You may be feeling that shift of leaving behind the old and feeling motivated and fiery and passionate about taking action forward. Well, the new moon is your new seed to plant for that next chapter in your life, totally free of all the old beliefs and habits and crusty things that don't serve us anymore. And we're stepping into a new, authentically aligned version. So I want to know, first of all, if you're tuning in live, say hello. Is this your first time joining in, and where are you watching from? I also want to know, where are my Aries at? We're in Aries season, and it's the trailblazing season. It's the leaders, it's the go-getters, and this is a time to really take inventory of what your ego looks like. Aries is what represents our ego and our action base. It's what gives us the motivation and the momentum to move forward. So this month, you're probably going to be challenged to see all the old triggers that make your ego come up to protect you, but you recognize now with wisdom that that no longer serves you, that maybe was a mechanism of defense and protection in the past, but it's actually blocking out the abundance or the love or the support that you are asking for. So I'm going to take a moment to tune in to say hello to everyone. Hey, Melissa, I'm so excited to see you at the Goddess Retreat next month. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hug you. It's been so long. Hello from Sacramento. Hey, Rachel. So good to see you guys. I'm heading through your neck of the woods right now. Get out of here. Literally, if you come through Frisco, send me a DM, we will get tea. We need to hang out. And I also just realized that you're friends with Brooke. How cool is that? I had no idea. Okay, catching up with everyone's comments. It's so nice to see everyone live. If you're on my email list, you probably got my Woo Woo Wednesday or lack of Woo Woo Wednesday message. I sent an email out last Wednesday instead of a live video because I was sharing that I needed time to rest. I needed time to heal. It was my father's 1-year passing anniversary, and we took some time to go and celebrate that with my friends and family. So I needed time to really regain my energy. And with this being a new astrological season, a new astrological year in Aries, this is when the real new year starts. I mean, look at nature, people. The spring is here, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. I just planted a bunch of seeds with Chris this weekend, so I'll be using this metaphor a lot. We found ourselves on one of our podcasts that's coming up. So season 3 of the podcast is launching in April. So all fresh beginnings, right? But a lot of the conversation stemmed around how we were gardening and planting all these different seeds, and how it takes time for the roots to grow down, and then it shoots up towards the light, and then the little sprouts, and then the flowers, and then the fruit. And it's a long process that teaches you patience. And if you look to nature right now, the cycle of growth that we're in is a time of rebirth, and it's a time of shedding away what no longer serves you. If you think about a little seedling casting off its shell, this is your time to cast away all the old crusty bits of yourself that just don't serve you anymore. Maybe those angry parts of yourself, maybe those parts that get triggered to feel abandoned no matter what happens, even though we know with our conscious mind, hello, everything's fine. This is the time to break that cycle, to break the habit and the chain, and really give yourself permission to be free in this new future chapter. Okay, I'm gonna put my drink down. I feel like my channeling is getting clogged up with the cup. Okay, so as always, I'm gonna pull some cards from the Shine from the Inside Oracle, and I also grabbed my affirmations deck that Chris got me, I think for Valentine's Day. I walked in there and I have all these decks everywhere, and I'm like, which one of you wants to come today? And this one was standing up in the back, me. So I'll be pulling cards from both and checking in with you guys. Jordan's here, yay, new moon, so ready to receive. If you guys are ready to receive this message, then let me know in the comments by hitting the likes, the hearts, the whatever. Share it with your girlfriends, and let's get this party started. Yes, that's how I found you, because of Brooke. I had a feeling. I'm like, well, there's no way it isn't full circle. So I had a feeling. Okay. Hey Ash, so good to see you, babe. Oh, I love you guys so much. Just planted microgreens, cherry tomatoes, lavender, and sunflowers. Oh, I love it. We did too. We did lavender this year, a bunch of different wildflowers, bell peppers, tomatoes, jalapenos. Like, oh, I just love gardening. It teaches me so much, and patience being one of those things. And to celebrate every step. Like the fact that I'm seeing like little sprouts, I called Chris out there, come look, they're alive. It's like we wait for that big harvest to celebrate, but what I have learned, or at least through this amazing saying, is that you don't judge the day by the amount that you reap, the harvest that you reap, but the amount of seeds that you sow. And I really feel like this is the time now to like plant seeds of kindness, of love, and of desire. You are a magic maker. You have the capacity and the capability within you, with your belief and intention alone, to create anything you could ever dream of in your life. And it really is a time where we have to get clear with ourselves and ask, like, what do I want? We're coming out of that hibernation mode. It's starting to warm up. We're starting to build that inner fire again, but maybe we haven't caught up with ourselves emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And it's time for you to take that assessment and go, okay, where am I at? Celebrate how far I've come, ask myself what is no longer serving me, and let that go, and really get clear on what action you're gonna take moving forward. In the season and sign of Aries, it is about taking action, moving forward. Action is what creates manifestation. It's intention backed by faithful action. So action's really gonna set the tone over the next year of what it is you're gonna create and experience in your life. So I wanna check in with you guys. Like, have you been thinking about the dreams and desires that you want to experience and fulfill in this next year? Have you been focusing on the fear that's coming up, that's self-sabotaging? Have you noticed it? Or have you been so diligent where you're like, nope, I'm done with this. It doesn't feel good anymore. A plane just flew over, and they always say when planes fly by, like, pay attention, like that could be a deeper meaning. And I'm just thinking, bye, like, bon voyage. We are done with the fear. And now we really need to shift from fear to the focus of what it is we want to create and feel in our future. Okay, Laura says the northern lights are supposed to be really good tonight. Well, girl, I live in Texas and we are not blessed and lucky enough to see that, but I would love to see photos if that comes up for you. Yes, patience, I know. Okay, I'm ready to dive in. I don't know about you guys. I missed you last week, but it was nice to rest. So I appreciate you guys always being along for the ride. Okay, let's get my Shine from the Inside Oracle, and then we'll pull one from the affirmations card too. Hello, Rebecca. Bye, fear, won't miss you. No, ma'am, we are done with that. And you know, when it really boils down to, I've been reading a lot about inner child healing lately, especially with the Goddess Retreat coming up. I'm always looking to add more ways of healing and connecting and just providing tools for people to really heal from their pain, man. That's what I'm learning from this book that I'm reading called Homecoming. Here's a crazy story. Okay, this is why we do woo-woo, so I can tell my fun magical stories. So my biological dad was a drunk alcoholic who was abandoned by his parents and had step-parents, so or an adopted family, right? So just trauma, period, right? Passed that down into my lineage, and he spent most of his life in jail while I was growing up. So when my biological dad passed away, and mind you, the 1 year passing was of my stepdad, so I've got like 2 dad issues, like double trouble. So my biological dad, when he passed, he left like 3 things to me. One was his pool stick and his pool trophies, because he was a champion pool player. And the second thing was this book called Homecoming, a guide to reclaiming and championing your inner child. What? I'm like, okay, well, at least he was like trying to heal. At least he was trying to figure out a way. And the last thing, he didn't really leave them. However, he did give them while I was alive. And it's letters that he wrote to me and my mom from jail. And that is how I've learned about my dad and the traumas and the pain and the anger that he went through, and why he was an alcoholic and why he had left our family. And I've sat in my closet with the letters just crying so many days, learning about who I am and the lineage of pain and trauma and abandonment that I didn't even know that I was brought into. When I asked my mom if she had had her children on purpose, I was like, you didn't have any of your babies on purpose. They were all accidents, except for maybe my brother. She goes, oh no, I had you on purpose. And I'm the oldest. So I'm like, no, you didn't. You were 21. You were not ready for this. She goes, no, I thought if I got pregnant, then maybe he would stop beating me. And I don't share this lightly because I know so many of you have witnessed abuse. And what I read in this book today is witnesses of violence or victims of violence are also victims of violence. So if you've witnessed it, you're also a victim of violence. I cried like a baby this morning reading that. It triggered so many old memories. And so I share this and I get personal and deep with you because I want to remind you that you're not alone, and no matter what experience life has dealt you, you have the ability to heal and leave the past behind and not repeat the same sabotaging patterns. So I hope that inspires you to find that next tool to help heal and relieve some of the anger, pain, or fear of not being lovable, because you are perfectly lovable just as you are. You just have to stop pretending that you're not. Okay, so thank you for letting me share. Hashtag beautiful share, vulnerable truth. But I appreciate you guys and just feel called to let you guys know that we're all suffering in some way. And what I am learning from this book that my dad left me. So he didn't leave me much, but he left me a really good tool. So be open to the puzzle pieces as they come and the information and the weird things. Like we were editing the yoga and meditation videos for the Elevated Life Club this month, and it like hit me over 10 years ago. We got asked at CrossFit. This is a manifestation story if I ever heard one. Chris looks at me when we were in CrossFit and he goes, I don't want to pay for this anymore. It's like $300 a month. Like I would like to, get it for free somehow. I'm like, how are you going to do that? That's like impossible. I shit you not, the next week, the owner of the gym came to Chris and said, hey, you're really into mobility and like yoga and stretching. You seem to know a lot about the body. Would you be interested in teaching a mobility class for CrossFit in exchange for your membership? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how did you do that? I'm like, how did you do that? I need to know the skills. But it's just, you set a desire. I want a free CrossFit. And what are you gonna do when the opportunity shows up? Are you gonna say yes? Or are you gonna say, oh no, I don't wanna do that? So you better believe we said yes, and we started teaching yoga and mobility. Well, I'm editing these videos because every month we have yoga and meditation, and it hits me, oh my gosh, like this was a puzzle piece 10 years ago that has led us to another form of how we're helping and teaching others and helping them to heal, whether it's a physical, mental, or spiritual. So it's so incredible how the puzzle pieces of your life fit together if you just look back and pay attention to find the theme, right? I need to do this. Yes. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to make magic with you at the Goddess Retreat next month. And before I dive in, if you are just now hearing about the Goddess Retreat and you're like, what? I need to be a part of this. This is a 5-day luxury experience in Colorado where we walk you through each one of the chakras. Actually, we have 7 workshops that range from yoga and meditation to inner child healing to getting clear on what it is your goals are. So we're going to release the past, build an empowered you with freaking boundaries, and then I'm going to teach you the tools to manifest free CrossFit or whatever it is you want. So this is your call. It's next month. We're like 25 days away. I'm so excited, and we have a few spots left. So here's my invitation to you. Shoot me a DM if you're on the fence or if you have questions, if you need the link, whatever, hit me up and I will hook you up. So with all of that being said, it's so crazy how all the puzzle pieces come together. And what I'm learning from this book is that we all have inner child trauma, and that plays out through each stage of our life. And we repeat that same scenario that we've learned, or we bottle it up until we explode because we don't want to repeat those same patterns, but we end up like backfiring somehow. And my goal, my work is to help you peel back all those layers so that you can find the real truth of the love that you are and that you deserve. Oh my gosh. Whew. Okay, here we are. I'm catching it. Thank you guys. Hello from Scotland. Oh my God, that's amazing. All right, we're going for real. Let's pull some cards for this week and see what new moon and Aries message that we have. New seeds. Oh, that's the first card of the deck, y'all. I saw the artwork. I know what it is, but it makes sense. So think about it. First sign of astrology. It's the first month of the new astrological year. I got the first card of the deck. I mean, Oh, okay, well there they are. Talk about new beginnings. 3 cards have popped up for this week, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of the affirmation cards. As I was sharing earlier, this is a deck that Chris got me called the Mindful Collective Affirmations. This is a really nice, simple deck that just has a nice mantra on each card that represents different aspects of your being. So I'm gonna shuffle with the intention that we get the new moon message that we need. Like, what is that fresh start, clean chapter? Like, what do we need? What do we need to know? What do we need to hear so that we can move forward courageously without fear? What is that message that we need to hear now? This is a new deck, so they're a little sticky. Okay. That's like a million cards. So I'm gonna just keep shuffling until one comes up. All right, you gotta be patient and trust what feels right. There's no wrong answer when it comes to picking cards, but most importantly, it's helping you to develop what feels right for you. All right, where are you at? Ooh. Oh my gosh, y'all, they're so sticky. Okay, here we go. It's coming up. It's like all of us waiting for our like manifestations to pop up. Like, are they here yet? Are they here yet? Like checking the mail when you've ordered something. Or if you're like me and Chris says don't smoke and shop, but sometimes I get presents in the mail that I forgot about. All right, come on now. Teaching people patience. Man. All right, 2, we're just rolling with 2 because they all keep trying to come out. That's just how we're rolling today. Let's do this, let's dive in. It's okay, take your time. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta roll with the spirit's flow. That's the thing, like the path of least resistance and what feels good is the way to flow and freedom, my friends. Okay, let's dive in. The first card is align your intentions with your actions. So this is a card about getting clear on what it is that you want. How do you want to feel, most importantly, because then once we know how we want to feel, we can take aligned action in that direction. So we don't just go, well, I want to do this. No, we have to like think it out, like think out the process of like, okay, if I do sign up for a massage therapy school, like how's it going to make me feel? Well, I'm gonna have to drive to school. I'm gonna have to go for X amount of hours for a year, Like, am I willing to put that time and investment in it? And so many of us don't think or future pace the work that's gonna have to be done when it comes to setting goals for ourselves. And we get started in it and we move like 5 steps down the path and we're like, oh, like this is requiring way more than I even ever imagined. And sometimes we do think it out and there's even more than we could have imagined and maybe more than you want to handle. But this is just a call to say, get clear on how you want to feel and what you want to experience, and then work backwards from there. If your end all be all goal is to be happy, well, ask yourself, what would it take for me to do or experience, or what setting would I be in, or how would I show up for work or my partner or XYZ? Like, what would it take to be happy? And then that's when we get clarity on what that next step is. So if your end all goal is to feel vibrant and healthy, then back up from there and ask yourself, well, where am I not being healthful? Where am I not being mindful of treating my body right, whether it's with my thoughts or harboring my emotions, or what I'm actually physically doing with the food, or the way that I'm treating myself or holding myself or beating myself up. When we can get clear on where we're screwing it up, we can then, because we're creative enough, ask ourselves, well, what needs to change? What small, subtle action, messy action can I take to just align myself in a more clear direction of what it is that I truly want? Got that card yesterday. Know the why. Exactly. So many times in entrepreneurship, when I'm coaching my clients, they get all burnt out and stressed out and they're freaking out. And I always have to bring them back to the simple, why did you do this? Why did you start in the first place? And they go back to that motivation and the inspiration that got them involved in the hard work that it's going to take. And this isn't to say like, if it's going to be hard, then just don't do it. No, we do hard shit all the time, but it's just, are you willing to take on that capacity? And are you being mindful and realistic of what energy and effort is going to take behind these things? For example, last year I was on a call with my team. I had built this beautiful team of all these powerhouse women, and I started crying to one of the marketing managers, and I said, Chris told me he just doesn't feel like I spend any more time with him. And that was it for me. I fired everyone. I love you all, especially if you're watching back. But that was it. That was a sign that it was like, oh, something needs to change. Because all of this, my why, is so that Chris and I can live our life together, doing our thing together. So at some point we got diverged in what we were doing, and it didn't feel good anymore. So we had to reassess and realign. And that's what this card is. Align with how you want to feel, and then take the action. Don't just take action because you're like, oh, if I'm not doing anything, then the universe isn't responding. That's not necessarily true. A lot of the times inaction is the most powerful thing you can do to prove that you have faith and you're willing to receive what you really want. Whew. All right, man, I saved up all that good juju. That's why I was gone last week, so that I could deliver this crazy message for you guys this week. All right, next card. Wow, it's a sign, man. Set your intentions with heart and soul. So align your intentions with your actions. We got 2 cards with the word intentions on here, okay? So set your intentions with heart and soul. This is one of my favorite cards, y'all. I just love this with the crystal ball. It's so amazing. But this is about getting clear with, now we know how we want to feel. Like, does this really genuinely light me up? Am I passionate? Am I ready to put in the work and take the action and the effort? So this is saying, if your heart's not in it, you're gonna burn out, you're gonna quit, you're gonna give up, you're gonna find a reason to put an end to that action. So this is saying, no more just taking blind action, no more taking people-pleasing action, no more taking action because you feel like that's what you're supposed to do. This is saying, only act when you feel inspired to act, when you feel motivated and inspired and empowered. And I'm saying the same freaking words because like that's just like how hardcore I'm trying to get, that a life lived with passion, a life lived by inspiration, is a life well lived. When you think back about the life and the moments that you collect over this journey, it's how you felt. And if you spent the majority of your life feeling like crap because you were working hard for this goal that you didn't really even enjoy when you got there, like what? That's what you've collected in your life bank, is like stress and overwork and climbing corporate ladders. Like, and if you're doing that and having fun, like rock on, but you're probably not here watching, you're probably working. So there's that. So this is saying, get clear on how you want to feel, and then make sure it lights you up. Make sure it's something from the heart and soul so that you will stay committed. It's going to take something, a why, a big why, to stay committed through those hurdles and ups and downs of the peaks and valleys of entrepreneurship. Because as an entrepreneur, it is going to highlight your shadows and pull up all the unworthiness and lack of abundance and money issues and all the things. So you have to make sure that it really feels good so that you can stay committed even when it gets tough. Yes, you guys are awesome. Spirit is speaking. Yes, man, I'm just the channel, y'all. All right, last card from the Shine from the Inside is embrace your inner divine feminine. This is your inner divine goddess. This is all about your feminine energy. This is about activating the goddess. So, hey, if you are here and you're thinking that goddess retreat sounds pretty good, I'm thinking Spirit does too. So this is your invitation to embrace your inner divine goddess and go inward to find that place where you are afraid to ask for help, where you are afraid to let love in, to let abundance in, to let creativity out, to be able to go with the flow and stop being so rigid. Another thing I'm learning about the inner child is how much we end up trying to control our scenario, because if we control every single move, then we can make sure that we prioritize not putting ourselves in a painful situation. And that alone is painful. So this is a call to get back to your inner power, where you feel safe in your own skin, where you feel comfortable with your body. And if that's triggering, then let's find, and let me just tell you, like, hey, another vulnerable share. Like, I just confessed out loud to Chris, to myself, to the world, like, I am struggling with my body right now. Like, I don't know what is going on. And I think it was from breaking my wrists and like not being able to move and get the energy flowing like I normally do. So it was a challenge for me to be able to adapt to having a broken hand, like wrist, hand, all the things. Like, I couldn't use them. I couldn't do my yoga practice like I normally do. So that was tough for me. So this is a call for you to look within and ask, are there parts of my shadows that I'm avoiding or that I'm rejecting, because that never creates a holistic well-being within our system. We have to accept the darkness and the light. So this is saying it's time to embrace your inner divine goddess by being more feminine, by balancing out the masculine that we're so rooted in and hustle culture and moving forward. This is a time for you to allow, for you to receive, for you to trust, for you to flow. And it really does feel good, but if you've never practiced, then it's a little uncomfortable. What makes you happy? Oh my God, I'm thinking like, then why the hell you, Sheryl Crow. I'm like, what is that song? If it makes you happy, yeah. All right, oh, Tamika, it's so good to see you, goddess. Okay. Affirmation cards, they took a minute to show up, but they're here now. So the first one is surrender and release. Oof, you know, the true spiritual teachers that have hit enlightenment are the ones that know how to surrender and release. It's not, reclaiming your power is not necessarily about more force. It is about being able to release and allow. So let's see what they have to say. That thing that you're holding on to so tightly with an iron grip fist, let it go and breathe in, gathering the dust up from every corner of your body until you no longer feel it lurking deep within the depths of your soul. Pause at the top of your breath and release it on a long exhale. A steady breath out, pause again, and ask, can you surrender to the final outcome? To how things come back? Can you surrender to how things come back to you? And can you surrender to the knowledge that may not? Surrender to all possibilities, accepting what's in store is greater than anything you could ever imagine. Surrender, dear one, and watch how you rise. All right, so what is it that you need to surrender right now? What is it that you need to let go of? Whether it's an old belief about yourself, an old action, habit, attitude, thought process, job, relationship, like, and what's the thing? What are we letting go of? And then the next card, balance. Perfect for my little Libra self. Powerful. All right, balance. This might be good. Like, place your hand on your heart. Soak it in, let the words wash over you. All right, heart or mind, body or soul, creative or calculated, masculine or feminine, spirit or science, momentum or rest, sun or moon, summer or winter. What is life but a beautiful, delicious mixture of both? Perhaps it doesn't have to be one or the other. Perhaps we were made to be some things, but then also everything, all in one. After all, the sun and the moon exist together in the sky. It is simply our perspective that keeps us from seeing both at the same time. I think this really is a powerful testament to seeing the embrace your inner divine goddess, because this is a call to balance the masculine and feminine. Again, we've been rooted in a world that says hustle, go, move forward, don't rest, like don't ask for help, you're weak. And this is saying it's time to balance it out. We need both. We need the darkness to shine bright, right? Like without darkness, you wouldn't see the light. And so you need to have both. And it's only our cultural morals that have created an illusion as to what is good or bad or right or wrong. And we need both. We need, I mean, look at, again, looking to nature, it's brutal, okay? It's not like love and light all the time. It's like destruction, fire, and rage so that it can rebirth and be better and stronger. So you have to recognize like we need both. And when we deny parts of ourselves, we create that imbalance internally. And then externally, we attract more scenarios that are showing us, trying to show us as a reflection like, hey, something's out of whack, pay attention, it's time to change. So anytime you feel something out of whack in your external life, don't blame it or feel victim, just thank it and say, oh, okay, you're showing me something that I need to look at within so that I can adjust or shift my perspective. You know, a miracle is a shift in perception. It is all about how you look at the things. So this is an opportunity to look at yourself in a whole new light, to instead of focus on the parts that you don't like, to shift the focus to what you do. Not saying that the darkness isn't there, but it's no longer your number one focus. And we all know what you focus on expands. So if we're focusing on the good stuffs, if we're focusing on the good stuff about ourselves, then the more we tend to magnetize and attract the good stuff. So This is your call to get clear with how you want to feel, to let go of the past and align with what it is you do want. Chris has always said, worry is living in the future and planning to fail. If you're gonna go out into the future, at least plan for what you want. Make sure it's in alignment with how you wanna feel and the outcome that you want to experience. Take time to let go of what no longer serves you. And on Friday, I mean, this is your time. Like, we're moving up to that full moon, or sorry, that new moon in Aries on Friday, and April Fools, and the 1st of April. Like, how many fresh starts can we get here? So take time over the next couple days to like start shedding that snake skin off. Like, oh, surrender, not mine, release, like, no thank you. And it may be other people's emotions that you're holding on to or expectations. So take time to assess what's going on, let it go, and plant the seeds for a new, beautiful you, because this is the time to make some serious magic. This was so fun. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. Shadow work time, you know it. I need to surrender so much. Well, you know what? Actually, I was asking one of the goddesses that came to the last retreat, what was your favorite part? And she said, when we did the burn the bullshit ritual on the first night where we burn all of the things, and you've been there, Melissa, you've been to a goddess gathering, you know the power of that. She said that changed my life. So this is going to be the opportunity for you to finally feel safe enough to open up and share and to pour it all out in a sacred container where you won't be judged and you'll only be loved and supported. So I just can't wait to hold that space for you in Colorado, Mel. You were meant to be at the first one. You were there in spirit. You've always been there in spirit. And now this is finally the opportunity that we get to make it happen. So I'm so happy. Okay, with that being said, I think this is time to wrap up Woo Woo Wednesday. I am so grateful to be here with you. This has been so much fun sharing my insights on how it is that you can commit to deeper self-love. Align your actions with your intentions. Set your intentions with heart and soul. It's all about intentions right now. New moon, y'all. And if you need help, I have a new moon manifesting ritual on the blog and even a free masterclass on how to manifest everything you could ever want. Embrace your inner divine goddess. So allow, rest, receive, ask for help, and then balance and surrender. This was such a powerful message. I want to know which card resonated with you the most. So share that in the comments below. And if you know a soul sister who would love this message, please tag them. Like, subscribe, share the video, whatever you got to do to spread the good vibes and sparkle magic. I am truly grateful to be here with you guys. Thank you so much. And last PS for today, I still do not have an Instagram account. So it's been so fun to connect with you guys on the Shine from the Inside account, inside my private Facebook community called the SHINETRIBE Sisterhood. I have just literally been so grateful to make deeper connections in other places. And it's also reminding me, like, what did we do before the internet? Like, we just had to deal with people in our like physical proximity. So it's kind of like reminding me that saying of I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. And although I love all of you, there's only so much space we can hold for each other in our life. So it's been really beautiful to the ones that are on the email list who have been like literally pen paling me back and forth because there's no Instagram DMs as far as the World by Britt. A lot of people have found me here on the Shine from the Inside page, but it's just so cool to forge new relationships. So even if you get forced into new change, embrace it, accept, surrender, allow. And I mean, talk about the ultimate spiritual surrender and test of like letting go of 12 years worth of work, right? It's so interesting. And I'm still in that, in the cocoon of change. So I'm looking forward to sharing all of my insights as they come up. But right now I'm feeling guided to just show up in other areas that I've created space, and it's creating new conversations. So it's been so much fun. All right, with all that said, I just wanna say thank you. Oh my gosh, Britt's here. So good to see you guys, Kathleen. All right, I love you so much. If you wanna come hang out with us at the Goddess Retreat, DM me, I'll send you deets, or you can go to brittneycarmichael.com/retreat to find out all the magical details. So glad to find you too. Thank you so much. I love you. I will be with you guys next week. And until then, peace.